Welcome everyone. My name is Maria Paula Garcia Mosquera and I am the ICA Head of Communications and Partnerships. We are really glad to be here with all of you to celebrate the International Archives Day. Thank you so much for joining us in the last webinar of the week hosted by the ICA Secretariat. This is the first virtual session that the ICA team is offering to present to its members and extended community some of the changes and updates that we have been implementing this year. For starting our last virtual session of this fourth week of the archives, Norma Charbonneau, advisor of the elected officers, will present the values and mission of the ICA and the changes in the ICA Secretariat.
Thank you, Maria Paula. Merci beaucoup, Maria Paula. I'm glad to be here with you to speak about those two very interesting topics. Over the last few months, I've been working closely with the Secretariat team in Paris on different topics, managing the team, but also making sure that we are ready for an important change at the ICA in our relation with the members and the volunteers. We had adopted years ago and a strategic plan, a very high-level strategic plan. And in that strategic plan, there were parts related to the relation of the Secretariat team with the volunteers, but we went deeper in that. What we did over the last few months is write a statement on the mission and values of the ICA concerning its relation with its members and the members of the Secretariat. That mission and value statement was adopted by the elected officers and also by the executive board of the ICA a few weeks ago. The mission value that you'll see on your screen shows what the ICA is or should be for its members. It's an organization that reinforces the records and archives profession, an organization that offers services to its members, an organization supportive of its members. The ICA exists for its members and must take care of its volunteers. It shows that being an employee in an organization is one thing, but volunteering to a non-for-profit organization like the ICA should be something a bit different. The ICA Secretariat is or should be a space open to members' contributions. That is conducive to providing services to members and boosting volunteer involvement. It shouldn't be bureaucratic. The work of the Secretariat should play a part in improving the member experience, especially the experience of volunteers. The ICA in general should be a learning and complex-free organization that enables its staff, the Secretariat team I was talking about, the members and the volunteers, to develop professionally and personally, to be creative in a flexible and fast-changing environment, to assume ever greater responsibilities through a process of delegation, and to thrive in a setting allowing for a certain level of risk management. And finally, and it's the most important thing, to better serve their clients. Clients being the members, the volunteers, but also the partner organization and the archival community, the archival and records community in general. Achieving this will strengthen the ICA in its relation with their partner, their members, and their volunteers. And we look forward to develop that stronger relation with the membership and with our dear volunteers, as you may know or not. The ICA is a non-for-profit organization. It is volunteer-based. I've been a volunteer for the ICA for, I won't say forever, but for a long time. And it's a place where volunteers can thrive and develop and learn and network and become better records manager or better archivists themselves. After that short presentation on the ICA mission and values, I think it's important to speak a bit more about the ICA Secretariat. It's a small team of 7 people, 5 of them being full-time, 2 being part-time workers. Over the last few months, since March, the team has undergone a major overhaul and has been working on revising its roles and responsibilities. Over the last few months, the staff moves inside the team allow us, the ICA, for the first time in years to have a full team working at the Secretariat. One of the most important roles at the Secretariat is, of course, the role of the Administration and Finance Manager. Our colleague Philippe Bruno prepares and controls the organization's budget. He also oversees contracts and ensures the compensation and benefits of ICA's human resources. One of Philippe's important roles is also to advise the ICA executive and the executive director on compliance with the French legislative and regulatory framework. That is not simple. Another member is Constance Constantino, our executive coordinator. Constance has been appointed executive coordinator a few months ago. She will assist the executive director in matters relating to compliance with the ICA Constitution and bylaws, on elections, on the functioning of the executive committee and general assembly. She will also provide logistical support to areas of ICA publications and translation. The third member is Marianne Deraz. Marianne is the program manager. She was selected following the call for applications for that position not long ago. Trained as an archivist, she has a detailed knowledge of the functioning of the ICA. In fact, she's the most experienced member of the ICA team in Paris. She developed during her previous functions as head of the website and electronic publication, which will be useful in carrying out the reforms undertaken by the Program Commission in recent years. Margaret Crockett is based in London. She's our training program manager. She works as a consultant part-time for the ICA. The training program is a core activity for the Program Commission and the ICA. In this capacity, she plans, coordinates, and formats the content. She manages the program and coordinates translation and quality control with the help of a team of volunteers. Margaret is also heavily involved in developing the workshop program for conferences in Congress. The new member of the ICA team in Paris is Kenos Alvarez, our website and IT coordinator. Kenos is taking over the lead to lead the important project of the website migration. As the IT and website coordinator, she will also be responsible for all ICA IT networks and provide essential support to key ICA activities and projects. We also have a new head of communication and partnerships. You've met Maria Paula, who's emceeing this event today. Maria Paula Garcia brings her expertise and deep knowledge of professional networks developed in her previous position as program officer, where she's replaced by Marianne Deraz that we presented a few minutes ago. As head of communications and partnerships, she will be responsible for defining a communications strategy for the ICA, including a reflection on its brand image. She will also focus on partnerships and outreach and network development projects. I had the chance over the last 4 years to work closely with Maria Paula as VP program of the ICA, and it's a blast. Last but not least is our digital communication assistant, who's a consultant working part-time. Ganesh Hover is based in Indiana, in the USA. She assists the head of communication and partnerships in the planning and preparation of all communications shared with the ICA members and external audiences. She develops the strategy for the use of social media and monitors results. The digital communications associate works closely with the volunteer managers of the communities associated with the ICA. She works with a large base of volunteers. Ganesh Hover is a Canadian like me, French Canadian. It's not a problem, it's more an asset for the ICA. So that's the ICA team, based in Paris, based in Indiana, based in London for Margaret Crockett. It's an hard-working and deeply engaged team. I had the opportunity over the last few months to work closely with them in some great work, the great work that they usually do. They are engaged, like I said, they are open to the members and to the volunteers. They thrive in that contact. So communicate with them if you need more information. Communicate, you'll be also able to communicate with the new executive director. Our colleague Carlos Eduardo Serrano Vasquez will be starting as the executive director on August 1st. He comes from Econ with a museum background. He's a specialist of educational opportunities and programs in museums. It will help the ICA better connect and better serve their client. So welcome to Carlos Eduardo. After Carlos Eduardo comes back, I'll be able to go back to my usual work of a young retiree back home in Canada. Thank you all, and I wish you a great International Archives Week. And the ICA is there for you. The ICA wants to welcome you as a member, but also welcome you with your volunteering if you are open to it. We will welcome you. Thank you again.
Well, after that presentation, I'm just giving the floor to Marianne Deraz, who will explain to us some of our professional programs. So, Marianne, back to you.
Thank you, Maria Paola. So, what do we do? At ICA, we have three main programs. The first, and all of them are about capacity building. The first one is the Africa program, then we have the New Professionals program, and the Training program. The Africa program, the goal of this program is to develop record keeping and archival education, and also answer the needs of African archivists. In this second phase of the program, the focus is on developing knowledge exchanges and training for trainers. We have two coordinators, Basma Makluf-Chabou and Cleophas Ambira, who organize a lot of activities. So an online virtual trainings like the one that we had in May, sponsored online training in records management, publications like the one on the digital records curation program that was published in French last month, and also for International Archives Week, training activities with the National Archives of Morocco, for example. Then we have the New Professionals program. This program is really about engaging the new professionals in our field to encourage them to become active members of the organization and contribute to the international community. The New Professionals coordinator is Nicolas Laurent, and she guides each year new professional cohorts so they can fully benefit from the opportunity to be ICA new professionals. They work together for a year on a project, then they present it at the conference, and ICA funds them to go to the conference. They also meet with the governance of ICA and with their mentor in order to grow the network. Another important part of this program is the mentoring program, which is led by Cécile Fabrice, and in which seasoned professionals may be interested to join. So the call for applications for the new professionals for next year is actually currently open until Friday. So if you meet the criteria, give it a try and apply. And the call for mentors will be open soon also. So if you have any questions about it, we have organized 2 webinars during the International Archives Week. They are recorded and they are available on the ICA YouTube channel if you have any more questions about it. Then we have the training program. This program, next slide. Thank you very much. So this program develops a training offer for members and the wider community, and it is led by Margaret Crockett. We are developing here online learning courses, like the course on Introduction to Records Management, on Family Archives, on Universal Decoration and Archives, and on Managing Digital Archives, and soon more. And also training sessions and workshops during the year. This offer is available for all the members of ICA in good standing, as well as a lot of other benefits. And for this, I will let Constance Vidon and Kenos Alvarez continue.
Thank you, Marianne. I'm happy to be here today and meet you all, even if it's only virtually, with Clémence. I am Constance. I am your executive coordinator, and I'm going to try to give you some information on membership of the ICA before passing on the floor to Clémence. As an international organization, at the ICA, we're very proud to have members from all over the world. We initially, like 74 years ago, had about 17 countries right after World War II, and the membership has now grown to 161 countries on territory at the end of last year. So as you can see in this chart, we are truly a global network. The number of professionals who form that network, as you can see on the next slide, keeps expanding each year, and it's now reaching a little over 2,100 people across all continents. 53% of those members are located in Europe, and the Americas come second with 18%. They are followed by Asia, 15%, Africa, 7%, and Oceania with 6%. This network is made by the 4 main categories of members of the ICA. Could I have the next slide? Thank you. 3 of them being institutional members, that's organizations, and the 4th one being directed towards individuals. So first we have what we call category A, which includes central archives directorates or national archival institutions. Then category B for the national or international professional associations. Then category C for institutions concerned with the administration or preservation of records and archives, or in archival training and education. And that category is directed towards both public and private organizations. And last but not least, the individual members. It's worth mentioning that this category also includes, can also include students, retired and unwaged person, and that we do have a discounted membership rate for those specific persons. The ICA year is being based on the calendar year. So I would like to note that the memberships are valid until the 31st of December of each year. It means that our renewal system will be sending you a renewal notice at the very beginning of the upcoming year. And now this is managed, as some of you may have noticed, online. We do understand that not everybody will be renewing their membership in early January. So we've established a grace period of a couple of months that it should be allowing you to renew your membership at your earliest convenience. However, and in order to ensure the best service possible, we would encourage you to renew as soon as possible. And I will now let Clémence explain to you what benefits are enclosed in terms of right holders and guest learners accesses in the renewal or in the ICA membership.
Yes, thank you, Constance. I'm going to talk about the benefits that our member gets at ICA. First, for institutional categories, we offer them right holders. Category A members get 8 rights holders from their institution to become to have the same benefits as every other members of ICA. Category B and Category C members get 4 rights holders in their institutions. We also offer a number of guest learners for each category, institutional categories, 20 for Category A member and 10 for Category B and C members. This gives access to people from the institutions to the reduced rates for online courses that we mentioned before. Now I will give you a list of the benefits for our ICA members. We have published recently on our website an updated grid for ICA membership benefits. So to list a few of those benefits, I will say that for members in good standing, they get access to a reduced rate for the ICA Congress and conferences. This year, the conference is in Rome in September. They get reduced rates for online courses, as we mentioned before. They can also strengthen their network by having access to the online directory, members directory. They are also eligible for funding for ICA programs and projects, and they also get voting rights in elections. They also get access to online resources and publications, so the newsletter, the Flash magazine, and the Coma Journal. Constance is going to talk to you more about elections because we have some elections coming for our members.
Thank you, Clémence. I cannot emphasize enough the fact that in order to make the ICA yours, to make it really diverse and inclusive, we really need the membership. We really need you to take part in our statutory elections. So this year, we are going to be holding 3 electoral processes in the coming weeks, and we strongly encourage you to apply and to vote, depending on the different election processes that I'm going to explain. First of all, the election for the position of president. Our current president is going to be retiring in September at the upcoming General Assembly, and the election for the new president will be held in July. Second, we'll also be holding an election for the vice president finance position, and that election will be held at the end of July, last week of July, and the first part of August. These first 2 elections, they belong to what we call the elected officers, along with the vice president program position. And third, as you can see, we also are going to have an executive board representative. So this election belongs to the executive ICA body, the executive board, and for the first time since the ICA constitution was amended at the last assembly, the ICA EB executive board will include a representative for the category D, that is the individual members of the ICA. This member at large, category B, will be chosen from and amongst the category D. So only category D members will be able to vote for that election, and not the whole membership like it is for the other 2. And this election will also be held at the end of July and beginning of August. And the elected category D representative will represent the interests of that group, that specific group. In the terms of those 3 positions, the president, VP Finance, and the category D member at large will begin after the formal handover that will be conducted at our General Assembly in September in Rome. And in order for you to participate in those processes, I would like to make sure I would like to ask you to make sure that your contact details are up to date on your profile page, which brings me to our database and allows me to take Clémence, pick it up from here.
Yes, Constance, thank you. So I started to work at the ICA back at the end of 2020. 21 now, and I started to work on a big project we have at ICA right now. It's the migration of our websites. We are currently working on the first phase of that project, which is the database migration. It started back in January, and we are going to use a new specialized system to manage our members. The idea for us is to update the members space on the website and give members new profiles, an easier application and renewal process that will lead to more autonomy to our member. This will be a more straightforward and regulated process and with new and updated members-only spaces. This will be implemented in the current of this year, and we will be able to show you the new items that will be available to members by then. The second phase of the website of this project is the website migration. We are going to migrate our 2016 website. Our website is our main tool to inform users and our members on our aims and goals and every news we have at the ICA. And it also helps us provide content to our members and resources and so on. We are going to work on user experience to have a new and easier navigation with updated visuals. That will be something that we will do with Maria Paula, our head of communications. The idea for us is to involve our members and users in this update by conducting surveys, and we will also have a workshop in Rome where our users and members will be able to give us feedback on the website and what they want to see there. I'm going to, speaking of the way we communicate with our members and the way we update them, I'm going to give you information about the ICA newsletter. We are going to change the newsletter. We are going to send them every 2 months instead of every month from now on. It's a way for us to update the International Archives community on what the community is doing with news of the world. It's also a communications tool for us to keep in touch with our member and all of the community. I suggest people to subscribe to our newsletter to get updates on the ICA and what the ICA is doing. So speaking of communications, I'm going to give back the floor to Maria Paula, who is going to talk about the events the ICA is doing and the events that are happening in the ICA.
Thank you, Clémence. Well, to talk about the ICA events, I would like to start with the event that brought us together today, the International Archives Week and the International Archives Day, which is today, June the 9th. These two advocacy projects have 5 main objectives, as you see in this slide. First, to raise public awareness of the importance of records and archives. Second, to raise awareness among senior decision makers of the benefits of records management for good governance and development. Third, to improve the public, private, and public sectors understanding the necessity of long-term archival preservation and access. Then, to showcase the unique, extraordinary, and rare documents preserved in archival institutions. And finally, to advance the image of records and archives to enhance their visibility globally. Considering these objectives, we have been working in the last 3 years to create and to implement social media campaigns to open the discussion among institutions and professionals of the archival and records management sector. In 2020, we talked about what an archive is. In 2021, we opened a virtual conversation about empowering archives. And this year, we have been exploring how and why archives are you. These campaigns are part of the recent history of the International Archives Week. But how about the origins of this event? So let's move on to the next slide. Precisely, June 9th was decided as the International Archives Day just until 27 at the ICA Annual General Meeting. Before this year, as you see in this slide, some conversations were held among the sector and sisters organizations. However, it's until this year that the date was selected. And maybe we can move on to the next slide. And the selection was obvious. June 9th was the date when the ICA was created under the auspices of UNESCO in 1948. Next slide. However, you have to know that until 2008, we started officially the celebration of the International Archives Day, which coincided with the 60th anniversary of ICA. And just until 2019, the ICA decided to expand the event for a whole entire week. If you have not checked with the events that we have offered this week, in fact, the International Archives Week is intended to promote the value and importance on archives, and that is why we call and we invite all the organizations in the sector to share with us events and ways to promote their work, their institutions, and the treasures that they hold in their organizations. But well, knowing these dates, we have a big question for you, and maybe we can move on to the next slide. Knowing that 2023 will be the year that will mark our 75th anniversary, could you tell us how would you like to celebrate our next anniversary? If you have ideas, please share them with us in the comment box. We will really love to hear your ideas. But well, while you think about this question, maybe we can talk about our next event in September, which is the ICA Rome 2023 Annual Conference. Okay, in this slide, you will find the key dates of this event. And one major event, deadline is the author registration. We will close tomorrow. As you see, we have two major deadlines closing tomorrow, not only the call for applications for the new professional, but also this deadline. But also tomorrow will mark 1 month for people to register with the early bird rate. So please check the conference website and take advantage of the discount of this rate. Now, the ICA Rome will be hosted between the 21st and the 23rd of September in this city. And for the ICA members who will join us in the ICA governance meetings, those sessions will be scheduled between the 19th and the 21st of September. Okay, at this point, I think that I will call all the team because if the people that are joining us today have any questions about the topics that we just discussed, please, now the floor is yours. So let us know if you have any questions about the ICA events, the ICA Secretariat, the ICA memberships, our website, our publications, and as I just mentioned, our anniversary for next year. Well, while we wait, because I know that it can take a little bit of bravery to post on social media, I will ask my colleague Marianne Deraz to talk about a little bit more about the professional program that we are preparing for Rome.
Thank you very much, Maria Paola. Yes, so regarding the ICA Roma 2022 conference, the main theme is bridging the gap, and we are organizing this conference in collaboration with ANAI, SOS Archivi, and the State Archives of Italy. The program is built on 4 sub-themes: gap, bridging the digital gap, and bridging the distance. And so the program will be very strong with over 95 speakers and coming from over 50 countries. So this is a great news. We have a very strong program and So the registration, as Maria Paula said, they are open now, and the early birds are now available. So if you want to take the opportunity to register at early birds, then you can do so until 10 July. So maybe I should add that this annual conference will also have a strong highlight of posters. We have a very strong number of very interesting posters, and this will be a highlight of the conference.
Thank you, Marianne. Well, as I mentioned, there is some early birds or there are some discounts in the next months for registering to this conference, but I also know that the ICA member have some discount. For those who are not part of our ICA community, maybe Constance Bidon could tell us more details about how you could become an ICA member and what do you need to do for that?
The registration process, either the renewal of the registration for new members, whatever the categories, is managed online. So we have a specific dedicated web page in our website. And if you could join us on that webpage, you're allowed to go through a process at the very end of which you have a virtual basket, as if you were shopping on some online retailer, with some online retailer. So you put the item, that's the membership, into your virtual basket. You complete all the information, and then at the very end, you need checkout, and an invoice is sent to you by email. And you can choose to pay either immediately with a credit card, and then your accesses are opened right away because it's the magic of the internet, or later, like some institutions who need a pre-approval system and purchase orders or processes like this, and then it can be paid at a later date with a bank transfer that our colleague Philippe Bruno will be receiving onto our bank account. So again, join us. That's the page on our website, or renew if you're a member and if you haven't done it so already. If you have any questions about membership and categories, rates, or whatever, do not hesitate to email members@ica.org. Thanks, Maria Paula.
Thank you, Constance. But well, I see that we did not receive any questions. However, if you have any questions after checking this video, don't hesitate to contact us at ica@ica.org, because not only we know that archives are you, but also the ICA is also you. So we are here to help you. Thank you so much, and please enjoy today. That is our International Archives Day. Goodbye.